Frankie Muniz was considered to be one of Hollywood's most bankable teens. You might remember him playing the lead in the hit sitcom Malcolm in the Middle in the early 2000s. But why can't he remember filming the beloved show at all?
When your TV privileges are taken away, you have to do something for entertainment. This is totally a trade-off.
What happened to the boy genius? We'll tell you all about it in today's video, including the time he ran errands while having a mini stroke. Muniz's talent and on-screen charisma scored the youngster an Emmy nomination and 2 Golden Globe nominations. And after his TV success, the young actor was cast in big screen roles like Agent Cody Banks, Big Fat Liar, and My Dog Skip. It seemed like Frankie was set to have a long career, but don't they all? Once Malcolm in the Middle wrapped, the star decided to take a step away from acting. In the following years, he mostly vanished from the public eye, becoming a full-time race car driver.
Too steep, too dangerous, I might die. Come in, girl, I don't care. You know what? I'm gonna try it.
In 2009, though, Muniz suffered terrible injuries from a crash and had to put a stop to the new thing in life that brought him joy. And it wasn't the first serious health setback young Frankie encountered in his life. Muniz has been in and out of the hospital and admitted to suffering at least 15 transient ischemic attacks, otherwise known as mini strokes.
I lose kind of vision, numbness, tingling down my body. I can't recognize people. Like even if my mom, like I can see her, but I don't recognize her.
Furthermore, he had his first concussion when he was 7 years old while playing goalie in a soccer game. Throughout his young life, he's had 9 concussions in total. But things took a turn for the worse when he suffered a mini stroke in 2012. Nobody was more surprised to learn that former Malcolm in the Middle star had a mini stroke than the actor and musician himself. I felt like I was getting stabbed in the head, the worst headache you could ever think of. I couldn't see anything, he said back then. After a morning workout, Muniz hopped on his motorcycle to pick up a few things at the home of his former fiance's mother across town. As he was driving, the vision in his right eye began to blur. I thought I had something on the visor of my helmet. I couldn't focus out of my right eye, he says. By the time he got there, he pretty much had no vision in his right eye. And when he got home from the short drive, he felt even worse. Frankie was dizzy and in a lot of pain. His hands were numb. I didn't really have a good balance, and I was almost dropping the bike. I never had this before. I was like, what's going on? He said, thinking of how quickly the symptoms came on and then intensified. His fiancée was home when he arrived and tried to assess his condition. But I was saying things, and she said, "You're not speaking English." Thankfully, the actor went to a hospital where he was treated and released. At that point in life, Frankie was playing the drums for the band called Kingsfoil and had plans to head out on a tour that weekend. Though Muniz admits he eats like a 7 to 10-year-old kid, he lives a healthy lifestyle. I never in my life had a sip of alcohol or even touched a drug, he says. I take a lot of pride in that. But the incident left him shaken. And due to suffering multiple concussions and many strokes in his life, Muniz experiences severe memory loss. Most people think that his most memorable year would be the year Malcolm in the Middle started, because it allowed the actor to live all these dreams. The truth is, I don't remember much of that. It almost feels like it wasn't me.
There's definitely things that pop up and I go like, whoa. But a lot of my memories now are almost like I can't distinguish if it was a dream or if it was reality.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like places I went, people I hung out, whatever it was. You know what I mean?
In the last 5 years, Frankie has suffered from 9 transient ischemic attacks. The actor believes the TIA, which temporarily cut off blood circulation to the brain, have contributed to his memory loss. Things pop back into my mind that I should have remembered. I should have remembered going to Australia. That's something people remember, Frankie revealed. Thankfully, Frankie's wife, Paige Price, is there to support him. Paige keeps a journal of events to try and help Frankie with his memory. I get sad of the thought of losing the memory because I know that I do, so she writes literally in detail, he explained.
She's a writer too, so she is amazing in detail with the way she writes, so it really does help bring me back. And I love it, so it's...
Reflecting on what it's like to have gaps in his memory, Muniz says for the most part, it doesn't bother him. I only know what it's like to be me, or have my brain. The only time he's reminded of how bad his memory is when people ask the actor, "Remember we went on this trip to this country?" and he has no recollection of it. In the meantime, Frankie's short-term memory is just fine, so remembering his steps on Dancing with the Stars wasn't an issue. Oh yes, the former child star not only participated in the show, but also co-hosted Dancing with the Stars Juniors. Might we say the last stint prepared him for the most important role of his life? Fatherhood. On March 25th, Frankie and Paige welcomed their first child together, revealing the happy news via Instagram. "World, meet my son, Maz Mosley Muniz. That was the moment that my life changed forever," the 35-year-old said. "I had heard that it would, but I never would have expected the impact seeing my son would have on me." Price posted similar photos of the baby boy to her Instagram, and in caption, she shared how to correctly pronounce his name. P.S. Maz rhymes with pause, in case you were wondering how to pronounce it. "My entire life, I was terrified of children and having that responsibility to raise them into good human beings. Today, I am so proud of the fact that I have an ultra-strong, booby-hungry little monster that I get to call my own," she captioned her photos. Muniz now has given up his motorcycles and will stick to listening to the K-Love radio station while driving the speed limit. The couple got married in February 2020 and announced their pregnancy in September with a YouTube video. "The second I heard that heartbeat, reality set in. I was throwing out baby names and future career choices," Muniz gushed at the time. While the little one must keep the new parents busy, they also managed to run a business together.
I'm Frankie Muniz.
And I'm Paige Price.
And we are the owners of Outrageous Olive Oils and Vinegars.
A few years ago, the two bought a specialty shop called Outrageous Oils and Vinegars in Arizona. "We had been customers at the store before, and we just knew we liked the product, and we wanted to do something together. Now it's become our lives," he laughed. Muniz and Price, both first-time retail shop owners, have taken a hands-on approach to run their first business together.
He has been a race car driver, you've been a band manager, you've been in a band, and now you're doing oils, which is really cool.
Which this is the coolest. I mean, of all those cool jobs, this is the coolest.
The shop is no celebrity vanity project. Instead, they spend most of their time managing inventory and giving new customers a tour of the shop. "We're not just ordering products and putting it on the shelf, we bottle everything. We label the bottles. We seal everything. It's a lot of work, but it's really rewarding when people come in and rave about the product." Running the business has allowed Muniz to indulge in one of his passions, working with numbers. "I love doing payroll. I love doing anything with the financials. I'm a numbers guy, so this has been like a dream come true for me," he said. Meanwhile, Price is in charge of picking out the inventory, running social media, and maintaining the shop's website. Where Frankie might not be on top of something, I'm on top of it. Or if I'm not on top of something, Frankie always has my back. The products at Outrageous Olive Oils and Vinegars have been a game changer for the couple. "Getting him to eat a salad was like the world was ending," Price laughed.
I was never a salad eater before I owned the store, but now with all these flavors, like I love it. So just go ahead and drink that. Best way to taste it.
It's like candy.
Now they enjoy experimenting with different dressings, marinades, and flavor pairings, using the products they sell at the store and find at farmers markets. In May 2020, he expressed his gratitude on Instagram for all the orders he's received. He captioned a snap with the products saying, "Words can't express our gratitude for all the orders we've received over the past couple of weeks. It makes @Pug Muniz and I feel extremely appreciated." Don't fret, Frankie occasionally comes back on screen. This March, many fans were delighted to see the actor grace their TV screens in the third season of The Rookie, a police procedural drama with Nathan Fillion. "Seeing @Frankie Muniz on my screen again is the best. #The Rookie. Absolutely love @Frankie Muniz on #The Rookie tonight. He's a great actor." Some fans, however, are finding it a bit too on the nose that Frankie Muniz, a former child star himself, played a lifelong actor turned cult leader, which goes to show just how impressive his performance was. Frankie Muniz playing an ex-child star who is now a cult leader is a bit creepy. #The Rookie.